Órale, Cholo Trucker Mas movies and shows, and here we got the Postcard Killings. I've never heard of this movie before, but came across my feed and I was like, oh, okay, man. Hey, look at this. It's Negan. That's how I know him, Negan from The Walking Dead. So I'm like, yeah, let me go ahead and check it out, man. Checked out the trailer and I'm like, okay, looks a little interesting. I got a little bit of time on my hands. Let me go ahead and sit down and watch it. So the Postcard Killings came out in 2020. It is an hour and 44 minutes long. Rotten Tomatoes has this at 22%. Wow. You can find this on Netflix, Google Play Movies and TV, Fandango at Home, Amazon Prime Video, and Redbox. I watched it on Netflix. Let's get to the description. A New York City detective investigates the death of his daughter, who was murdered on her honeymoon in London, and discovers the existence of a serial killer. Okay. Um, all right. This movie, it it had me. It did. Man, this movie, it captured my attention. It had me. You have the detective, which is Negan. I forgot his name in the movie. And, he's out there, but nobody really wants to, give him too much of a helping hand. To them, he's an outsider, right? Because he's in London, he's a New York cop, and they're like, hey, listen, Mr. American hotshot detective, you're in London. We do things differently here, all right? Um, and he's having some trouble, man. The movie pretty much kind of in the beginning shows you, his daughter, she's dead, and he's just kind of like, damn. But the thing with this is that there are some disturbing images with the bodies. Okay, it's just not like, hey, somebody got murdered, your daughter got murdered, or she was out on her honeymoon. It's not like, hey, they both just got murdered and that's it. Somebody shot them in the head. No, 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 no. It is work of art. With the deaths come the art. The killer actually puts them like they're sculptures, right? Places them almost like mannequins, or no, I shouldn't say mannequins, like sculptures, like at a museum. And he's making the connection, the correlation of, hey, where else is this happening? And he finds out, like, hey, I think, we got a serial killer on our hands here because this is happening in different places. All right. And everything seems to lead up. It's always somewhat of a young couple who just barely got married. And when they die, the killer puts them in this kind of artistic form, their bodies, and takes something from their bodies, lips, eyes, hands, whatever it may be, and leaves it at the next site, the next killing. So Um, he's kind of, taking it into his own hands because law enforcement isn't really helping him. And he teams up with some girl, some reporter, and they're out looking for the killers and trying to, connect all the dots and all that stuff. Now, I'll tell you guys this, man. It's thrilling enough because there's two stories going on. There's that story, and then there's the other story of like, hey, who's the killer, right? You're trying to figure that out. And it's it's capturing enough. It is. However, however, once the cat is out of the hat or the rabbit's out of the hat, I don't know, however the heck that saying goes. The movie dramatically, I mean, it just slows down. It just like completely slows down and you start losing a little interest. At least I did. I was just like, wow, like you really had me. And now I'm just kind of like, all right, let's hurry up and get to the end because I want to see how this ends. which brings me to the ending of the movie. It was a horrible ending. This was a one of those, it's a good movie until it wasn't, especially the ending. Like, whoa, wait a second, hold on. You're a father that is completely destroyed because your little girl was murdered in a horrific way. You're seeking justice, vengeance. And then we get to the end of the movie, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're like, going at it with law enforcement over there because they're not helping you. And then the way the movie ends, I'm like, wait, what? It was just, but I will say this. I will say this. When it comes to the actual killer, the reason why they're doing it, it was interesting. I was like, oh, okay, that's something different. I was like, oh, all right. Okay, now I get why they're doing it. It's terrible, but I'm like, oh, all right, got it. But nonetheless, man, the postcard killings, it was a good movie for maybe an hour. And then everything after that just kind of slammed on the brakes and it never really got going again, at least for me. And that ending was gosh off. But nonetheless, there it is. The postcard killings. Cholo Trucker, Mas Movies and Shows. Catch you guys on next one.